I can't think. What am I supposed to do? Yeah.
Talking about getting some orchid supply. Hydroponic growing mix. A kind of expensive 80 crowns, €8 for only 3 liters, so I can mix it up all by myself for half the price. So they got the best ready mix bags. I think I'm gonna get one of those. And the orchid setup they got is always lovely, never fail. Some paths. And we got some more to the other side, dendrobiums. Decia, this color. And here we got some more camber types. This is Cambria mix, €13. This one has got a good color. I love the orange center, but I will not get any of those. Beautiful pedestals. Well, these are great, €40, and you can move them a bit if you like as well. It's not easy to do it with one hand, but yeah, you can. Make it a little wider or narrower in one go. It's €40 though, but yeah, maybe serve a purpose. Really, I'm gonna get one. And if you fold it, it's really not taking up much space. Look at it. Hi there guys, welcome back to Karin's Orchids and my kitchen mess. Look at it. I literally dragged all of the orchid related stuff I could ever possibly find into my kitchen without cleaning anything up in between the repottings. Well, I just felt that I wanted to get rid of the repottings now. I mean, I started out with about 20 orchids, and the total number, final number, was about 60 orchids to repot. So I had some job done. So, repotting media there on the floor. What on earth is it doing on the floor? My most precious orchid, no, not one of my most precious orchids, my Cattleya. Jeez, why am I always forgetting its name? My Cattleya, Mossiae, in 3 divisions now. As I said, scale purge. I really did have to get to the middle part. I couldn't find any other solution. Yeah, but now at least it's kind of sort of scale free, isn't it? They were all sitting at the base, and you can see here, the dividing of the orchid, splitting, has already started to trigger yet another little eye down there. So there will be, probably will be, 2 new growth on the same little cane here. A new cane, which has not yet bloomed. But this orchid is really special. It matures its canes during autumn, winter time. Now they're at the maximum height here. The only thing they will do now is get a little bit more plump, like its next door neighbor here. Yeah. And it can bloom from newly produced canes, as well as from some old sheath at the same time. So if we're lucky, I may have 3 blooming divisions at the same time. I like his oldest part here, this one with the plump, short pseudobulbs. Look at it. I love plump, short pseudobulbs. A little bit black there, but they are quite old now. And as they grow on, this orchid, the pseudobulbs turned taller and not so plump. I'm going to put these 2 guys together, the newest parts, and see too that the cuttings are into different directions. So this one may branch out some new growth to several directions, which will mean that there will be, or at least it can be, some mass bloomings. And what else do we have on this dreadful table. Yeah. An orchid, I'm not so fond of it, not the looks of it at least. SLC, Sophronitis, Layla Cattleya, Jewel Box. I don't know if this one is the Shasharashade. I cannot pronounce that. Doesn't even say on the tag, but I believe that's the right variety. But this one's blooms are reddish with some yellow, golden yellow veinings to the center. Lovely, lovely blooms. But the plant itself is a fast-growing plant. I got it as near blooming size, something like this. Looks terrible even when I got it a couple of years ago. But after that you can see all of the new canes are produced. A kind of sort of many, really. And it's been attacked here by a scale, of course. And it's been transitioned, and its root system is really bad. And it's a flimsy orchid, and I don't like the appearance of it at all. I love the blooms too much to get rid of this one. What is this? Yeah, a new growth here. Otherwise, this little division would have hit the bin, really. Lots of scale here. Bent, leafless pseudobulb. With some hollowness to the... the whole pseudobulb cracked to the middle and caught a lot of scale there. It was a real scale party in there. And it still is. It doesn't matter what I do with it. I cleaned it with rubbing alcohol and sprayed it and stuff. It doesn't seem to go away. So, ugly little bastard, this one. And for a while I thought this little thingy would bloom. Yeah, but not anymore. I'm not really sure. Let's see what I'm gonna do. Yeah? And I also did something crazy. I split up one of my favorite ones. The RC Fushu Glory Happy Holiday. My huge-sized Cattleya was getting far too large. It's sitting in my window here, a little bit temporarily set up now. They're not staying where they should be yet, but there's quite a lot left of this Cattleya anyway. So, and it's got several new growth down there. So this one is going to be a really full one, and it will bloom this autumn. Yay! As always, before Christmas, and maybe this huge divisions will as well. Now when it can put out a couple of new growths to the sides here. Lots of eyes. Yeah, you can see one there. For starters. And there will be. This one is going to start growing. Yeah, so this is going to be great. So, yeah. On my crowded stove here, looks like hell in here, is the, former known as Laelia purpurata. This is the variety Moon. Henry George Moon, the famous painter. He named this one, shall we say? This Moon variety. It's a huge size one. But as you can see, something has been eating on the leaves. It's been receiving a huge amount of light. The last year, perhaps. So it's nothing wrong with the orchid. It's just light, good light, really good light. This is a new cane. It's a little bit plumper, and it also bloomed. Came out with one bloom, but anyway, it wasn't blooming. But there are, or can be, some scale lurking down there, and this pot is really taking up a lot of space. So I'm gonna take a chance on this one, even though it's such a rarity. I would transition her into semi-hydro. Yeah, I would try to do it. I held on to this orchid a little bit too long. But it seems to be working. I don't know why I was so afraid. I mean, if I even transitioned my mossy eye and it worked, why shouldn't this work? So, yeah, everything to get rid of the scale, really. Not so many left to deal with. And then I'm scale-free in this apartment. It's going to be so great. You know, cannot imagine how great it will feel. I'm progressing. Almost finished. For a while. But what's suddenly lying in front of you here? It's my, it's a Cattleya, which turned out to become far too wide for my window. Rin Cattleya, Xing Fong, Little Sun, Young Min, Golden Boy. So I was so happy that I had such a good size of that very variety. Yes, and it even bloomed for me once, since I had it in my possession for about 6 months. You can see all of the sheath this one has got. Sheath everywhere. Sheath. Sheath. Old, overbloomed sheath. Sheath. It's quite difficult to say sheath many times in a row as fast speed as you can, but yeah, I didn't manage. Anyway, the shiny, which means they've been sprayed with my leaf gloss. They had, still has got a bit. Why I divided this plant into 3 separate divisions, because they were all natural divisions. I could just grab the plant and divide it by hand. No force needed, really, not so much force, at least. Firstly, I thought I would pot these guys up in bark again. Bark and moss mixture. But as you can see also, the scale is persistent and will probably multiply again down there at the base. So I will have to keep an eye on these guys. So they will be, all of them for now, will be potted up into semi-hydro for easier managing and scale cleaning in the future. And after a while, perhaps I can give away one of these 3 divisions. But overall, it's just a little bit of sun damage. Some red spots to them. Not much. Only caused by a little bit too much sunlight. It's a good plant overall. Plump pseudobulbs. Nothing bad with the orchid, really, except for the scale. And it was sitting so tightly pressed together, so it's really difficult to clean it up. So I had to split it up. Anyway, and now I got a smaller plant. This one will probably bloom before long. It's filling up its new sheath here. And this treatment will probably scare it to bloom faster than expected, even though its root system will die off. Yeah. Okay, I've seen it before, and I'm going to see it again, or shall we say we're going to see it again. Some blooms on a rootless Cattleya. But it won't be rootless for very much longer, that I can assure you. Come its next growth. There are many eyes here. There will be a new root system. Okay, I'm not going to repot them together with you today. I will show you something else. I even dealt with my huge Encyclia Prismatocarpa, the one you saw in bloom probably. You've seen it a couple of times in bloom in my videos. It was growing a bit too wide for my liking. And it's got a few ugly patches from insects. And its root system had a lot of scale to it. It was sitting in bark mixture. Yep. So I happened to divide it. I split it up into 1, 2, 3, and 4 separate divisions. As I said, it was becoming a huge plant, really wide, and it's a vigorous grower. Puts out a couple of new growth every season. So, yeah, I really had to. As well as I needed to replace the media. Well, it's not replaced yet, but it will be. And I'm not going to keep Encyclia type, Oncidium type, Miltonia type, or shall we say Cambria type orchids in semi-hydro. And preferably not dendrobium types either. Not in my care, not in my conditions. They won't get the nutrients they need. They don't like it. They're not doing as well as my Cattleyas. Sorry. There are people who grow them really well, of course, out there in semi-hydro. Those kinds of orchids. But I'm not, so I'm going to transition back a few of them. These guys are the parts I'm keeping. It's been blooming here, and it has not yet bloomed from this sheath, and perhaps it will. So, what to say, what to do? There will be a new growth here. So, if I would like it to bloom from every direction, I better put this division here. Or perhaps here. Depends. So I will have good blooming, mass blooming from every direction next time. Yeah, it's gonna look great. And these guys I'm gonna put up in organic media and bring to my Orchid Society. Firstly, I'm gonna treat them so they are scale free when I bring them. I wouldn't want to give anything away with pests. Yeah, that's not kind. So, put them away. And I also made a few divisions out of a few Cattleyas. But you better take notes, yeah? You should really take notes while you're at it. In case of forgetting stuff. Yeah? I don't remember which Cattleya this one came from. And its chance on producing a new eye is kind of sort of gone. The eye is gone. So maybe this one is really due to the bin after all. But this one isn't. It's a 4 cane division. Not all that bad. Should be about 3. 3, preferably 5. But 4 is okay. If they are as plump as these guys. And this came from my RLC Alma Mali. Look at the beautiful plump pseudobulbs. Yeah. This is what you're striving for. This is what you want. Plump, short, lovely canes. And this one will produce stuff. I can assure you that. So, yeah, good division to put up at the lottery at our next meeting. Yeah. And this one, it's not much of a division really. And maybe no eye either. No eye either. Yeah. It's from my LC Orglades grant. Yeah. It's such a plump, lovely suitable. I just couldn't throw it away, so wait for it a bit and see if anybody wants it. Yeah? Doesn't cost anything. I'm not going to charge them for it. So, but anyway, no managing, no repotting today, but only a little bit of chat and look at some stuff. So, why not show you a short update video on my large aquarium, 450 liters. Why, you wonder? Doesn't it look just the same as when I last showed it to you? Well, it's not. I've added 4 new fish. 4 new Central American ciclids. Large-sized ones. They are really going to grow large. Yeah, here's one of them. Synspilum. Some call them Vieja. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Synspilum. This one can reach a size of 35 centimeters. Not in a community tank. They're most likely to become about 25. So I got 4 of them. Not sure, cannot determine which are the males and which are the females. They are also similar at this size as youngsters, but the male will quite rapidly develop a bump. That's the word. That's the only word I can come to think of right now as I stand here. A bump to his forehead, red forehead. These guys are going to become greenish, reddish, yellowish. The color of the rainbow, really. You can see some red tinges already where the gels are. So, yeah, the newcomers. And you, guy, you are angry man today. You're just being annoyed at every of your companions in this community tank today. What's up with you, guy? Yeah? He's been bullying this female, this brown Olenqua, for a week now. Well, maybe she doesn't have any eggs left. She's getting old, so the eggs are decreasing in numbers. Similar to us humans, I guess. And this is her male, and he doesn't really defend her. Yeah, he's a bit old and tired, that's why, yeah, I can see him bullying her all of the time for not having eggs, I believe. Yeah. He wants to mate, but with whom? Yeah, he's got plenty of females, but this female is far too old now. Doesn't have any eggs. So, yeah, that's the way it goes in the fish world community tank. Yeah, and feeding time. Lots of activity. They're all over the place, fighting over the food. Yeah, they get food 3 times a day, so everybody will get a piece of the action. I can assure them that at least they eat a lot, and they will be fed a lot as well. Frequently. Thank you so much for watching, and talk to you soon. Take care, guys, and happy growing.